Hello truck fans! So today we're going to do a review of this Majorette Mitsubishi concept from Gran Turismo 6, a PlayStation video game. And this one is called the XR-PHEV Evolution. I'm coming to enjoy Majorette's packaging. The car is actually angled at a nice angle so you can see it, and the car tends to stand relatively vertical compared to like Hot Wheels and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting. I like it. Okay, so some information on this car. Granted, it's a fictional car from a video game, but it's supposed to have a 3-liter hybrid powertrain, making around 500 horsepower, and it's supposed to be all-wheel drive because it's actually supposed to be kind of like a truck, a racing truck. And if you see my earlier video on the Mitsubishi Pajero Evolution, which is running in the Dakar Rally, you might be able to see some resemblances. Like this whole front end is like a styling design theme in all the Mitsubishi trucks nowadays. So this also might be why it's called the Evolution, this particular model, because the Pajero Evolution runs in Paris Dakar. Well, it's not Paris Dakar anymore, but anyways, Granada Dakar. Okay, well, anyways, so let's take a look at this casting here. And oh boy, unfortunately, this really nice color has a lot of orange peel effect here. Not very smooth. And then I'm noticing a tiny bit of bubbling here in the black, so the paint seems to be bubbling up. So that's not particularly great. Looking at the bottom here, this was made in, I believe, 2018. Maybe the May of 2018 on the 21st day. This is actually 1/64 scale, so that's nice. Not all of these are the exact scale. Some of them are off by one or two digits there. Interesting that the top snaps into the bottom like that. I haven't noticed that on the other Majorettes. There's one rivet holding it together, so that should be easy for me to drill out and take this thing apart. Now you'll notice that this thing has a flat belly pan, so it's got a diffuser like a race car. Even though it's kind of a truck, it's meant to be a racing truck, which is why it's so low to the ground, and it looks like they took a Pajero and just squashed it. But it's interesting. Because these lines are all streaking at an angle, it looks like kind of like a modern hot rod as well. Like it's kind of lunging forward. And I think that's another design theme they're going for, like a sprinter trying to lunge forward is inspiration for this design here. It's supposed to be rolling on 20-inch wheels in the video game, but I've noticed that a lot of these Majorettes, they're pretty much running the same mold of the wheels. So I'm going to 3D print some new ones here and try to match the wheels that are on the video game car. Okay, so look at this paint here on this side. It's pretty nice. I don't know, maybe a contaminant there, but I guess it's more the casting itself. There's a lot of detail. There's like an undercut here, tight door panel lines, really tight. There's even a panel line here for the window, so that's really nice. I guess not a panel line, but you know, a separator between a small window and a big window. So that's really neat. Looking at the front end, we have the Mitsubishi diamond there, so that's pretty. It's a little off center, but it's at least crisply printed on. This grill has a little bit of texture. You can see it's concave. It's quite interesting, actually. Really subtle. They could have easily made that smooth, but I like how they put those little ridges in there. And then this silver accent, at least on this side, seems to be printed nicely. Here it looks like a little silver's missing. Okay, and then we have some vents here for the wheel wells, release pressure. I think these are clear lenses. They're really obviously narrow, but I think they're clear. Okay, this side, you got this nice red printed on racing stripe. It's actually accenting a little bit of surface separation there, so that's pretty neat. Okay, so no major problems on this side. Looks like there's a little passive vent rolling in back here. So it's like a zigzag of the design here, going this way, that way, and then up here. So one continuous line. It's a nicely styled truck. I like it. This chrome trim rolling around most of the window frame is nice. The interior, it is black, and I can see a little bit of a something there, maybe like a gauge, but it's so reflective and so dark in there. I don't know what else is in there. And the side window is so shallow. I'm sure there are seats in there, but it's just a black hole of detail missing. So I don't know. Okay, so this wing, it's pretty nice. Yeah, sorry, let's get rid of this. It's a little thick, of course, because kids are probably going to play with this car, but yeah, it looks like it might actually survive some rough play. And I can level it out, so that's good. And then I didn't notice this before. There's a little transparent window back here, so that's nice. Interesting little bump here, tapering into the wing itself. So really interesting styling. And from the top view, we got these giant fender flares. Looks like a kind of like a Group 2 rally racing car, or I forget what group it was, but the crazy monster rally cars from the 80s. Okay. And then the back, again, the diamond here is printed nicely. It actually is a bump. It's a triangular bump, and then they printed on it. So that's good. And then this is probably where the bottom piece snaps in. So this license plate area is really part of this, and is trapping it. So they only needed to rivet it once. Okay, so yeah, again, we got the subtle ribbing here of the grills back here. And this diffuser here, doesn't go all the way through, but I think it's really nice. This is a nice casting. I was a little hesitant to actually buy this car, because initially I'm just like, what is that? That's a weird looking, is it a sports car or a truck or what? But now that I actually have it in hand, the packaging, I think this is one of my favorite Majorettes now. Granted, it's only the third Majorette I have in my collection. Okay, well, anyhow, as I mentioned, the wheels here are not remotely close to what's on the video game car. So I'm going to try to design some of my own, and we'll see what happens. Okay, and here we are. I'm back with some new wheels. So when I was looking at pictures of this car from the video game, it has massive wheels, and the tires are literally touching the top of the fenders. So, and I also realized that the tires are staggered. It looks like they're staggered tires. So the front tires are actually thinner sidewalls than the rear tires will have thicker sidewalls. So that's what I went for. It was really hard to mimic the actual sculpturing of the spokes, so due to laziness, this is the best I came up with. I didn't feel like spending too much time on this. But I did manage to put in the Mitsubishi logo in there. And then there are some brake rotors in the behind. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, though, because it's so black inside there, but they have red calipers. Sorry. I don't know, maybe you can see a little bit on the front one there. Okay, so it was interesting when I took this thing apart. First I had to trim a little bit of this, drill out that one rivet, and I actually broke the drill bit, and it dug into my hand right here. The drill bit actually went into my hand, so that wasn't fun. But this little black piece is trapped by, I think the interior is trapping it up here, so... And also, actually, this glass piece might be trapping this tiny black piece. It has a piece of plastic there, so interesting engineering there. And this definitely is a key for the bottom pan. It slides into this groove, so that's why there's only one rivet in the front. It is a very wide truck. It had wider axles than all the other Majorettes that I'm doing this series on. But I like it. I think it turned out pretty well. Good enough, I guess. Better than the stock wheels. In fact, well, I guess you could just rewind and look at the stock wheels. I did glue these wheels in place so I could have the diamond in the proper orientation and keep the brake rotors in the proper orientation as well. I could have had them spin, but I didn't feel like doing it. So, okay, well, I'll let this spin around here. Oh yeah, if you're interested, I'm going to put these wheel files up on shapeways.com, so you can just search for Majorette wheel set, and it'll come up. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next one.